Welcome to my channel HD Rare Coins 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Roosevelt 1 dime, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. One such coin that has captured the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike is the Roosevelt dime, minted in 2005. To truly appreciate this small but mighty coin, we need to dive deep into its origins, its design, and the journey it has taken to become the sought-after piece it is today. The story of the Roosevelt dime begins with the passing of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who served from 1933 until his death in 1945. His presidency was marked by significant events such as the Great Depression and World War II, and he is often remembered for his leadership during those tumultuous times. In 1946, just a year after Roosevelt's death, the United States Treasury decided to honor his legacy by issuing a new coin, a dime, which would bear his image. The design of the Roosevelt dime, created by the renowned engraver John R. Sinek, was simple yet profound. The coin's obverse, or front, features a left-facing profile of Roosevelt, with his distinctive facial features and a solemn expression. Above his portrait is the inscription, "Liberty," and below, the year of minting is displayed. Flanking his image is the motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has been a central part of U.S. coinage for many years. On the reverse side of the coin, we find a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. These symbols were carefully chosen to represent the ideals of peace, unity, and strength. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch peace, and the oak branch strength. Encircling these symbols are the words, "United States of America," and "E pluribus unum," which translates to, "Out of many, one." It's a stunning reflection of the unity that Roosevelt championed during his presidency. Now, as we fast forward to 2005, this particular year holds significance in the history of the Roosevelt dime. While the design of the coin has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1946, 2005 was marked by a unique series of coins that would stand out in the annals of U.S. minting history. The 2005 Roosevelt dime. The 2005 edition of the Roosevelt dime didn't look dramatically different from its predecessors. But it came at a time when the United States Mint was actively producing a variety of coins with unique characteristics to engage collectors and the general public. That year, the Mint issued the coin as part of a special series known as the State Quarters Program. While this program focused on commemorating the individual states with their own unique quarter designs, it also presented a rare opportunity for the Roosevelt dime to be examined through the lens of collecting. For those who collect dimes, and especially those who have a particular fondness for the Roosevelt series, the 2005 version of the coin has gained increasing recognition. Many believe that this specific year's coin carries with it an aura of rarity and historical significance that others in the series do not. Perhaps it's the fact that the coin was minted during a pivotal time in U.S. history, or maybe it's because it marked a continued commitment by the U.S. Mint to preserve the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt. When it comes to the technical details of the 2005 Roosevelt dime, it's important to recognize the high quality of minting that the U.S. Mint consistently achieves. This coin, like others in the series, was struck in a composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. Its diameter is 17.91 millimeters, and its weight is 2.27 grams. The dimes are struck at the U.S. Mint's facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with each coin carrying a mint mark indicating its place of production. However, as with any coin in the world of numismatics, the value of the Roosevelt dime is not determined solely by its weight, size, or even its minting year. Collectors and investors alike know that the true value of a coin lies in its rarity, condition, and desirability within the market. And this is where things get interesting. In the case of the 2005 Roosevelt dime, there are certain variants that have generated considerable interest among collectors. The standard 2005 dime, when found in excellent condition, is typically worth only a few dollars above its face value. But it's not just about finding a coin that's in great condition. Certain errors, variations in the strike, or unusual characteristics can elevate a coin's value to staggering heights. Some 2005 dimes have been found with minor minting errors, such as off-center strikes or incomplete images, and these coins, when in pristine condition, can fetch a much higher price in the marketplace. But here's where the magic happens. If you happen to come across a 2005 Roosevelt dime with a certain combination of characteristics, for instance, a near-perfect strike or an unusual minting error, its value could be far more than you ever expected. In fact, there have been reports of certain 2005 dimes selling for up to $25,000, a figure that is enough to make any coin collector's heart race. Yes, you heard that right. The 2005 Roosevelt dime, when found with the right combination of rare features, can be worth as much as $25,000. It's a mind-boggling figure for a coin that, on its surface, appears to be an ordinary piece of currency. But that's the beauty of numismatics, the hidden treasures that lie within seemingly ordinary coins. Collectors, dealers, and enthusiasts continue to keep a close eye on these dimes, searching through rolls of coins, carefully inspecting each one for signs of rarity. The 2005 Roosevelt dime has become a symbol of the fascinating world of coin collecting, where history, artistry, and investment potential intersect. And as the years pass, the value of these coins is only expected to rise. With fewer of the high-quality, rare versions circulating in the market, demand among collectors is likely to increase, pushing prices even higher. So, if you find yourself with a 2005 Roosevelt dime in your possession, take a closer look. It might just be a treasure worth far more than its original face value. The lesson here is simple. While the Roosevelt dime might seem like a small, unassuming coin, it holds within it a deep connection to American history, as well as the potential for extraordinary value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone just starting to explore the world of numismatics, the 2005 Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how the past and present can merge to create something truly remarkable. So, next time you're flipping through a handful of change, take a moment to look for that 2005 Roosevelt dime. Who knows? You might just be holding a piece of history in your hand, one that could be worth more than you ever imagined. Top 2. When we think of coins, especially those from the United States, it's easy to overlook the smaller denominations. Yet, in the world of numismatics, even the most unassuming of coins can hold tremendous value. One such coin is the Roosevelt dime, particularly the 2012 version. At first glance, it might seem like just another dime, but for those with a keen eye and a passion for coin collecting, the 2012 Roosevelt dime is a fascinating piece of history and, in some cases, a highly valuable treasure. The Roosevelt dime series itself began in 1946, shortly after the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt was revered for his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II, and it was only fitting that a coin bearing his likeness would grace U.S. currency to honor his legacy. Since then, the design has remained largely unchanged, a testament to the enduring significance of Roosevelt's image and the timeless nature of the values he stood for. Now, let's focus on the 2012 Roosevelt dime. To truly appreciate its place in history, we need to go back to the year it was minted. The early 2010s were a time of economic turbulence in the U.S., with the effects of the 2008 financial crisis still being felt. The country was in the midst of recovering from one of the most severe recessions in modern history. Yet, amid these challenges, coins like the Roosevelt dime, which had been a staple of American currency for decades, continued to circulate, seemingly unaffected by the broader economic forces shaping the country. While the design of the 2012 Roosevelt dime did not deviate from the traditional look that had been in place for decades, that very consistency is part of what makes it so significant. The obverse features a profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing left, with the inscription, Liberty, above and In God We Trust, to the left of his image. Beneath his portrait is the mint year, 2012, and the phrase, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, is also inscribed on the coin. It is a dignified and respectful representation of Roosevelt, who was not only an influential political figure but also a man whose character and vision helped guide America through some of its darkest days. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the familiar symbols that have appeared on Roosevelt dimes since the very beginning. A torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch are arranged around the central theme of the coin. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch signifies peace, and the oak branch stands for strength. Surrounding these symbols are the words, United States of America, and the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, further reinforcing the unity that Roosevelt championed during his presidency. However, it's not just the design or the historical context that gives the 2012 Roosevelt dime its appeal, it's also the way it was produced. The U.S. Mint, which is responsible for minting all American currency, took great care to produce a coin that met the highest standards of quality. The 2012 dimes, like most of their counterparts in the Roosevelt series, were made of a clad composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This combination of metals gives the coin a smooth, silvery appearance and a weight of 2.27 grams, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. The 2012 Roosevelt dime was struck at the U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and like all coins from this era, it features a small mint mark to indicate its place of origin. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint carry no mint mark, while those from Denver have a DE mint mark, and coins from the San Francisco Mint are identified with an S mint mark. While these mint marks don't drastically affect the value of the coin in most cases, they are important details for collectors who want to build a complete set of Roosevelt dimes from different minting locations. For most of us, the 2012 Roosevelt dime would have simply passed through our hands, spending its time circulating as one of the many coins in our pockets. After all, with a face value of just 10 cents, the dime isn't typically considered a high-value coin. But for coin collectors, even this seemingly modest denomination has the potential for much more. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 2012 Roosevelt dime so special? What makes it stand out from other years in the series? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, minting errors, and collector demand. While the 2012 Roosevelt dime was produced in large quantities, there are certain versions of the coin that stand out due to unique characteristics that make them far more valuable than their face value. For one, certain coins from the 2012 series may feature subtle minting errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double strikes. These types of errors can occur when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, damaged, or not properly cleaned, resulting in a coin that looks unusual or flawed in some way. For numismatists, these imperfections are often the key to unlocking a coin's true value. In fact, a 2012 Roosevelt dime with a significant minting error could be worth several $100s, far more than its 10-cent face value. Some of the rarest and most valuable examples are those that have been graded by professional organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, which assess the coin's quality and assign a grade based on factors like its condition, the sharpness of the strike, and its overall appearance. But here's the kicker. Among the rare specimens of the 2012 Roosevelt dime, there are a select few that have achieved legendary status in the numismatic world. These coins are not just valuable, they have become highly coveted treasures for collectors, with some selling for as much as $15,000. That's right, a coin that started out as a humble 10-cent piece could, under the right circumstances, be worth thousands of dollars. And it's all because of that special combination of rarity, historical significance, and desirability among collectors. You might be wondering how these coins make it into the hands of buyers willing to pay such astronomical prices. The answer lies in the tireless work of professional collectors, dealers, and auction houses who specialize in numismatic treasures. They scour through coin collections, carefully examining each piece for imperfections or unique characteristics that could make it worth a fortune. In some cases, a single coin can be sold at auction for more than its original value simply because a collector has deemed it to be of particular importance or rarity. So, if you happen to have a 2012 Roosevelt dime in your possession, it might be worth taking a closer look. Does it have a unique error? Is it in pristine, uncirculated condition? Is there a rare mint mark or an unusual characteristic that makes it stand out? If so, you could be sitting on a small fortune. For many coin collectors, the thrill of finding a rare coin, one that has slipped through the cracks of time and made its way into their collection, is what keeps them searching, inspecting, and collecting. It's the excitement of uncovering hidden gems, even in the most common of coins. And that's why the 2012 Roosevelt dime is so special. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are the ones that are right in front of us, waiting to be discovered. To wrap things up, while the 2012 Roosevelt dime may have started out as just another coin in circulation, it has since become a symbol of how something so small can carry immense historical and financial value. Whether you're an experienced collector or someone just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, it's clear that there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. Its design, its connection to Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy, and the rarity of certain specimens have all combined to make the 2012 Roosevelt dime a coin worth watching closely. And with a potential value of up to $15,000, it's proof that sometimes, the most unlikely treasures can be hiding in plain sight. So, the next time you find yourself holding a handful of change, take a moment to inspect your dimes. Who knows, you might just be holding a rare and valuable 2012 Roosevelt dime, a coin that could be worth much more than its humble face value. Top 3. One such coin, which may be hiding in your pocket change right now, is the 2000 Roosevelt dime. While its face value is just 10 cents, this coin holds a much larger story, one of history, design, and in some rare cases, unbelievable value. Let's take a step back in time to understand why the Roosevelt dime was created, and what made the 2000 version particularly fascinating for collectors. In 1946, a year after Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away, the U.S. Mint released a new dime, designed to honor the late president. Roosevelt had served as the 32nd President of the United States, leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. He is remembered for his leadership, his New Deal programs that helped bring the country out of the Depression, and his famous "For Freedom's" speech. Given Roosevelt's significance, it was only fitting that the U.S. Treasury decided to feature his likeness on the dime, making it not just a symbol of currency but also a symbol of resilience and unity in a time of great need. The design of the Roosevelt dime, created by engraver John R. Sinek, was simple yet elegant. Roosevelt's profile, facing left, appears on the obverse, with his signature features, the strong chin, the calm expression, marking the coin with the dignity and seriousness of a president who led America through some of its most trying times. Above his head is the word "Liberty," signifying the nation's commitment to freedom. To the left of his portrait we see "In God We Trust," and beneath his image is the minting year. The 2000 dime, like all dimes, also bears the engraving "Franklin Delano Roosevelt," a tribute to the man the coin was named after. On the reverse side of the coin, the symbolism continues. The reverse displays a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, all arranged around the central inscription, "United States of America." These symbols were carefully chosen to represent the ideals of Roosevelt's presidency: liberty, peace, and strength. E pluribus unum, the motto of the United States, is also inscribed on the reverse, meaning, "Out of many, one." The design is simple, but its symbolism is profound, a reflection of the values that Roosevelt fought for throughout his time in office. Now, we come to the 2000 Roosevelt dime. By the turn of the millennium, the coin had been in circulation for over 50 years, and it had become a staple in the pockets of Americans across the country. But the 2000 edition of the dime, while carrying the same basic design as its predecessors, is interesting for several reasons. First, it was part of a period of transition for the U.S. Mint. The year 2000 marked the final year of the 20th century, and with it, a sense of closing out one chapter in American history and opening another. The U.S. Mint had also been working on a variety of initiatives in the late 1990s and early 2000s, such as the State Quarters Program, which commemorated the individual states with their own special designs on quarters. While the Roosevelt dime wasn't part of this program, it was still affected by the heightened interest in collecting coins that accompanied the release of the state quarters. As a result, the 2000 Roosevelt dime, though not dramatically different from earlier versions, was starting to garner more attention from collectors who were beginning to see value in coins that were minted in specific years. One of the key aspects that collectors pay attention to is the minting process. In 2000, like every other year, the Roosevelt dimes were struck at the U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 2000 dimes were made of a copper-nickel clad composition, with 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, making them durable and resistant to wear. The weight of the coin is 2.27 grams, and its diameter is 17.91 millimeters. These technical specifications remained the same across most years of the Roosevelt dime series, ensuring that the coins were uniform and easy to handle. However, while these coins were produced in large quantities, the U.S. Mint's annual production was in the billions. Not all of them were destined for everyday circulation. Collectors and investors know that the real value of a coin isn't always in how many were made, but in the condition of the coins and, occasionally, in the rarity of certain variants. While the 2000 Roosevelt dime was not part of any special series like the state quarters, it still holds appeal for those interested in collecting high-quality, well-preserved versions. One factor that elevates certain coins above others is their condition, or grade. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with higher-grade coins being those that show minimal wear and tear. A well-preserved 2000 Roosevelt dime in mint state, MS 65 or higher, can be worth several times its face value, with collectors willing to pay premiums for coins in exceptional condition. Coins that have been preserved in sealed holders or have been kept in pristine environments tend to fetch higher prices, and this is especially true for coins that are decades old. But where things get really exciting for collectors is when rare minting errors come into play. While the vast majority of the 2000 Roosevelt dimes were struck perfectly, a small number of them were misstruck, leading to unique and valuable variations. For example, some of the 2000 dimes were struck off-center, meaning that the design was misaligned during the minting process. These off-center dimes are highly sought after by collectors, as they are considered rare and fascinating examples of minting mistakes. The value of an off-center 2000 Roosevelt dime can range dramatically depending on the severity of the error and its overall condition. Even more interesting, some collectors have reported finding 2000 dimes with other minting errors, such as double strikes or die cracks. These anomalies are highly prized in the numismatic world because they represent the imperfections that can occur during the manufacturing process. For numismatists, these kinds of errors add to the coin's story and increase its desirability, making them highly collectible and valuable. But here's where things get really exciting. A select number of 2000 Roosevelt dimes, particularly those with rare minting errors or in exceptional condition, have been known to fetch extraordinary prices. It's not uncommon to see these dimes being sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars at auction, depending on the specific characteristics of the coin. And in some rare cases, the value can reach jaw-dropping figures. Yes, you heard that correctly. A 2000 Roosevelt dime, particularly one with a significant minting error or in flawless condition, has been known to sell for as much as $30,000. That's right, a dime that originally had a value of just 10 cents could be worth $30,000 under the right circumstances. How does this happen? The answer lies in the rarity and desirability of certain coins. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for unique specimens, and when one of these rare 2000 dimes surfaces, it creates a bidding war among those who want to add it to their collections. Auction houses and numismatic dealers know that rare coins can fetch prices far beyond their original face value, and in some cases, they can become legendary pieces in the world of coin collecting. So, if you happen to come across a 2000 Roosevelt dime in your pocket change, don't just dismiss it as another everyday coin. Take a closer look. Is it in exceptional condition? Does it show any minting errors that make it stand out? If so, you might just have a rare treasure on your hands, one that could be worth far more than its initial 10-cent value. In conclusion, the 2000 Roosevelt dime is a fascinating example of how even the most ordinary of coins can have an extraordinary story. Whether it's the coin's connection to Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy, its design, or the rare variants that make certain examples so valuable, the 2000 Roosevelt dime is a shining example of the hidden potential that lies within the world of coin collecting. And with the potential to be worth as much as $30,000, it's proof that sometimes the most unlikely treasures are the ones hiding in plain sight. So, the next time you find yourself holding a 2000 Roosevelt dime, take a moment to appreciate its history, and perhaps consider whether it might just be worth far more than you thought. Top 4. We'll uncover the history, the design, the minting process, and most importantly, the reasons why this coin could be worth a lot more than its face value. Stick around, because at the end, we'll reveal just how much this dime could fetch in today's market, a number that might just surprise you. To start, let's rewind the clock a bit and talk about the origins of the Roosevelt dime. Introduced in 1946, this coin was designed to honor one of the most beloved and influential figures in American history, President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II earned him a place in the hearts of millions of Americans, and after his passing in 1945, the United States sought a fitting tribute. The Treasury Department decided to feature Roosevelt on the dime, replacing the previous design of the Mercury dime. The new coin, created by renowned sculptor John R. Cynic, was a simple yet dignified portrayal of the president in profile, reflecting his determined and serious demeanor. The design was a departure from the flowing, classical imagery of earlier coins, capturing instead the modern, realistic style that symbolized the 20th century. But what about the 2014 Roosevelt dime? What makes this particular coin stand out among its predecessors? Well, first, it's important to understand that dimes in general have always been widely circulated, with billions produced each year. But not all dimes are created equal, and the 2014 Roosevelt dime carries with it a certain level of uniqueness. The 2014 coin, like others minted in that year, was struck as part of the regular production run of dimes for circulation. These were produced by the United States Mint at both the Philadelphia and Denver Mint facilities. While most of the dimes that year were intended for everyday transactions, the 2014 edition had certain features that would end up making it more sought after by collectors in the future. The design on the obverse of the coin remained faithful to Cynic's original 1946 portrait of Roosevelt, which still features him with a calm, thoughtful expression. This is a strong, enduring image that has stood the test of time and has been the face of the dime for more than 75 years. On the reverse side, the coin continues to feature the traditional olive branch and torch, symbols of peace and liberty, along with a sprig of oak leaves, representing strength and unity. One might think that a coin like the 2014 Roosevelt dime wouldn't have much of a story to tell. After all, it's a modern coin minted in vast quantities. However, what makes this particular dime interesting is how certain factors can influence its value. The 2014 Roosevelt dime wasn't just about everyday circulation, it's part of a larger trend in modern coin collecting that focuses on rarity, condition, and special editions. In terms of rarity, most of the 2014 dimes minted for circulation can be found easily in change, and they're not particularly valuable by themselves. But, as with any collectible, certain factors can significantly increase a coin's value. For example, the condition of the coin is one of the most important considerations for collectors. Coins that are well preserved, free of wear and tear, and exhibit mint luster are more desirable than those that are scratched or corroded. That's why the 2014 Roosevelt dime, when found in pristine, uncirculated condition, can be worth far more than just 10 cents. This is where the magic of coin collecting comes in, the pursuit of coins that are in mint state or have unique features that make them rare. In addition to condition, the 2014 Roosevelt dime also appeals to collectors because of its potential for error. Coin errors, such as misstrikes or off-center impressions, can make an otherwise common coin incredibly valuable. While the 2014 dimes were not particularly known for significant errors, collectors still keep an eye out for subtle misprints, doubled dime markings, or other imperfections that can set certain coins apart. But perhaps one of the most important factors that make the 2014 Roosevelt dime interesting to collectors is its association with the continuing legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt himself. Roosevelt was a central figure in American history, not just for his presidency but for his role in shaping the country during some of its darkest days. The dime is more than just a coin, it's a tribute to his leadership, resilience, and enduring impact on the nation. For history enthusiasts and collectors alike, the 2014 Roosevelt dime offers a tangible connection to that legacy. Now, you might be wondering, why is this coin worth so much more than face value? Great question, and this is where things get really interesting. As we've seen, the 2014 Roosevelt dime, on its own, is not particularly rare in the grand scheme of things. So why could it possibly be worth up to $16,000? Here's the answer. Over the years, certain coins, particularly those in mint condition or with specific characteristics, have gained immense value. In the case of the 2014 Roosevelt dime, a small number of these coins were released in special proof sets. These proof coins are made using a special process that ensures a sharp, mirror-like finish, unlike the standard circulation strikes. These coins were produced for collectors, not for everyday spending, which makes them significantly rarer. Additionally, the market for rare coins has exploded in recent years. Coin collectors are always looking for something unique, and the Roosevelt dime, with its historical significance and potential for high-quality minting, has attracted a great deal of attention. As more collectors search for dimes from the 2014 minting run, the scarcity of perfectly preserved examples of this coin has driven up its value dramatically. To make things even more interesting, certain specialized dimes from this year are also tied to historical events. For instance, certain versions were released in connection with the 70th anniversary of Roosevelt's passing, adding to the sentimental and collectible value. Coins with these types of special associations often fetch higher prices because they resonate with collectors who are particularly passionate about American history. So, how much can you expect to pay for a 2014 Roosevelt dime if you're lucky enough to find one in great condition or with rare characteristics? Some of these coins can easily fetch $100 or more, especially those that have been graded as being in mint state by professional coin grading services. But there are cases where an even rarer dime has sold for much, much more. The rarest and most pristine examples of the 2014 Roosevelt dime can reach astonishing amounts, up to $16,000 in certain instances. Imagine, a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents, now worth thousands of dollars. It's a reminder of just how unpredictable and fascinating the world of coin collecting can be. While the 2014 Roosevelt dime might seem like a small, simple piece of currency, its historical importance, its design, and its rarity in certain conditions make it an incredibly valuable commodity. As we close out this video, let's reflect on the fascinating journey of the Roosevelt dime. From its introduction in 1946 to the unique and valuable 2014 edition, this little coin packs a lot of history, artistry, and potential for collectors. If you've ever found a 2014 Roosevelt dime in your pocket change, take a second look. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Thanks for tuning in to this detailed look at the 2014 Roosevelt dime. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more interesting content about coins and history, and share it with your fellow numismatists. Who knows? The next dime you find could be worth thousands. Stay curious and keep collecting.